The face-off between state representatives Matt Hudson and Kathleen Passidomo is shaping up to be the most expensive Senate primary in the state of Florida this year. Both are current office holders, vying for the Senate seat held by Garrett Richter before he hit the term limit. Their challenge is to separate themselves despite being on the same side of the aisle. Here's an excerpt from their forum.
Can you point to one vote of yours that clearly shows you are not a liberal, and one vote of your opponent's that would suggest he or she is? And Matt, can you start this round off?
One particular vote of mine that would demonstrate my belief as a conservative would have been the bill that I passed, House Bill 1143 in 2010. That bill was a deregulation bill to remove excess regulations away from healthcare practitioners, and also was a bill that would have provided for ultrasounds to be performed prior to a termination of pregnancy. That bill was vetoed by Governor Christ. I think the following year there was some pro-life legislation that in fact my opponent did not vote for. So I'd say that would be a difference.
My whole philosophy is one of conservative values. I'm extremely fiscally conservative. Every single bill that I have voted for, I have looked at ways to cut taxes, cut regulations on business, balance the state budget, put funds in reserves. So honestly, every single bill I voted on has been a conservative measure. And you can look at the history of the legislation that has passed, and it's usually passed on party lines. And I have been right there with my Republican colleagues. I want to say one thing about those bills that my opponent has been haranguing and harassing me about on media. I voted for 24-hour waiting period. I voted for every single one of those abortion bills. We had 9 bills, 9 abortion bills. I voted for 7, and I voted against 2. And the one I voted against, and I want you all to know that, was a bill that required a doctor to lie to a patient. I'm a lawyer. I am not going to tell a doctor to lie to a patient. That provision in one of those abortion bills was so bad the Senate didn't even hear the bill. The bill died in the House, and it was only heard in the House because it was a political ploy for somebody who was running for election and needed a win.